Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the general collective message, the daily message for Thursday, May the 12th. So we got some moon aspects I want to talk about. The moon was working its way through Virgo, a lot of perfectionism energy, a need to kind of organize anything chaotic, and now the moon is shifting into Libra. So it is still the first quarter moon phase, indicating change, action being taken, a lot of self-expression and growth. But with the moon now in Libra, safety in our relationship is what we're looking for. Safety in relationships. You think of Libra, you think of justice, you think of balance. Libra does have this strong desire for balance and harmony. So I feel if you prefer to keep things nice rather than asking the fundamental questions that you need to ask, and you rather keep things nice rather than disturb the peace, I think all you're going to do is cycle back into all of these relationship cycles where it's shallow, which can tend to create a lot of volatility. And we were talking about the hostile energies with the moon in Virgo. So it's about not keeping things nice, speaking up and allowing yourself to be heard. What is it that you believe in? Because if you can't learn to share all of your feelings, the good and the bad, with your partner, then you've likely got some lack when it comes to emotional intimacy. So we're kind of learning how to not be afraid to be who we really are. And you know, that's where we kind of step into authenticity. If we're manifesting these divine unions, we kind of have to be 100% authentic and, you know, and take off the masks. So I feel don't be afraid to be who you are, despite of any expectations of yourself. And I think the energy is influencing us to all find our pleasant voice, our authentic voice, and to embrace this energy of equality, reciprocity, and balance in our relationships. So while the moon transits through Libra today, it's forming an opposition to Jupiter, which just went into Aries. So, you know, this balanced energy opposing self. The moon trine Mercury, which is always, for me, trines are like portal gateways, and Mercury is now in retrograde, so maybe a look back at how you communicate within your relationships and where you need to kind of be emotionally vulnerable. And then the moon opposite Venus. So that's like yin yang, the moon in Libra and Venus in Aries. And we've got some powerful energies coming up over the next couple days in preparation for this full moon eclipse in Scorpio. So the energies are intense, not gonna lie. With the moon opposite Jupiter, it's usually a positive aspect most of the time, but it can bring about a lot of negative energies and bad behavior, childish behavior. It can really indicate addictions. If you have an addiction to anything that makes you feel good, it's really going to highlight where you can be easily codependent on another, especially if you play into like forbidden substances, like drugs and alcohol. You know, sex is an addiction and overindulgence. Food can be an addiction. And all of these addictions can cause a plethora of problems in our life, not only health problems, but in relationships, because it creates a mask when it comes to being authentically, emotionally intimate with another. So I think get ready to exploit some unexploited potentials in the energies. And a lot of us find it difficult to build that solid sense of self-esteem and self-worth. And then we play into all of these exploitations of emotional manipulation in relationships. And then this further diminishes our self-confidence. So it's like this energy seeping in to create a sense of self-doubt, to show you where you've been unproductive. Questions, you know, healthy relationships. You think of the Queen of Swords. She asks a lot of questions. I'm not afraid to ask questions, and I'm not afraid to ask those tough questions. And if I feel a bit of a red flag, I'm not afraid to go in the other direction. I'm very much take it how you see it. And if you don't like me, then I'm just not your person. So you know, also Libra is a sign of balance. A lot of people with major Libra placements prefer to look at all sides of the coin and to think well of everybody. And let's face it, although it's great to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and we are here to build that mutual trust, unfortunately, deception is very common, and not everybody has those same values that we have. So an evaluation of your own character, maybe of somebody else's character, especially when it comes to any misguided information. Maybe you've been lacking that real perception. I think get ready to discover something in the energies, to discover something in order to develop your intuitive gifts too. And I feel it's this energy of being accountable and responsible and working to better your life in more fulfilling ways. So it's about finding that healthy sense of self-esteem, and we can't rely on another to give us that positive self-esteem. We kind of got to find it on our own from the inside out. So there's going to be a lot of restless feelings coming up today that will disturb your inner state if you don't have that emotional vulnerability within your one-on-one relationships. So if you've been feeling this deep sense of dissatisfaction, perhaps it's time to explore a new avenue that will help you productively redirect your energies. So with the moon opposite Venus, it's complex, and this is going to be a couple days before Venus conjuncts Chiron. So that's going to be a whole other video. The energies are intense, but this is like the gateway portal of embracing self-healing once and for all. So it's a complex aspect, the moon opposite Venus. Although it can be mostly positive, it has a lot of negative features as well. So the moon governs everything concerning our emotions, our day-to-day lives, a lot of emotions, our relationship with food even, our ability to make a reasonable decision, and it definitely deals with our relationships with our family, and particularly our mothers. So I feel a lot of mother wounding coming up, abandonment wounding coming up, especially if you have a mother that is crossed over, a crossed over loved one that was a mother figure to you. And when we think of Venus, the planet of love, it does govern all of our relationships, and it does signify romance, romantic relationships, and sex. Like, not gonna sugarcoat that. So it's basically love in all forms is what Venus represents. And so it's this benefic energy coming through. And so many of us have a very empathic nature, and we are very helpful. And so I kind of feel this opposition is going to be a little bit of a tough aspect. It's going to play a very special role when it comes to our relationships. It does signify polarity because it is the yin and the yang, but it will likely get you redirected on the pathway of balance. When we think of Aries and Libra, Libra is we, Aries is me. And so Venus rules Libra, and in its detriment is Aries. And so it's like a flip, because the moon is going to be in Libra and Venus is in Aries. So it doesn't make a huge difference, but I feel this is really going to enhance some positive features in the energy. I feel we're going to feel a bit of friction, though, more than there would ordinarily be. But this is going to be an opportunity to help those who maybe have experienced the same difficulties that you've already been able to overcome. And that's kind of linked to the Chiron energy, the wounded healer. It can help us open up a doorway of opportunity to develop more open social personas without the mask. And challenges in the energy will be, releasing fear when it comes to taking a social risk or going in a new direction, or dropping those barriers, those self-protective barriers around your heart when it comes to emotional vulnerability. So we cannot keep avoiding confronting our emotional fulfillment or unfulfillment, rather. And so we usually preoccupy ourselves when we're in an unfulfilling relationship with material possessions. And, we might have the big fancy house, we might have the top of the line everything, the new car, but are you actually emotionally satisfied? I think if you're in one of those relationships, maybe it's time to do some self-reflection, because when we preoccupy this unfulfilled emotional place from the inside with material possessions, money, physical acquisitions, or through a lifestyle that reflects all of these beautiful Venusian tendencies, but it's about luxury and sensuality rather than balance, then I think you're going to be having some difficulties, because there's this need for emotional closeness. And when we play into these unconscious addictive behaviors like greed, lust, addictions, we unconsciously push people away, and we fill this void from everything but a real connection. So all of these inner barriers need to kind of be dismantled and broken down. And that's like the Tower reverse, dismantling all of these barriers and these false beliefs and moving beyond these inhibiting patterns that keep us stuck in these restrictive limitations. But so it's going to require taking a risk. It's kind of like going cold turkey, right? It's like quitting a bad habit cold turkey. And we do this by opening up to a new direction, opening up to our connection to source. And we got to be a little bit less protective. Not everybody is going to be trustworthy. But when you learn to trust yourself, you're going to spot those red flags right away. And when you trust yourself, you're going to be able to weed out the people that aren't trustworthy, because you're going to have your rose-colored glasses off, and it's going to be easy to be less protective and less distant. So, and this is where we master learning to share ourselves more easily. And the more you drop any expectations of others or judgment, it's easy to kind of drop that guard and to put yourself out there. So I think with the moon trine Mercury, it's going to give us this feeling of our emotions and our rational mind kind of blending and flowing naturally together. And this is how we know we've integrated our feelings with our logical mind, and we've reached a place of 0 point of balance. So I feel a huge opportunity in the energies to learn from all of these past difficulties once and for all, so we don't keep repeating these patterns, to embrace a bit of ambiguity, and challenges will be balancing emotional and logical reason if you haven't found that balance yet. So and we're all here to kind of work for the common good. So that's that battle between we versus me. There's self-care that isn't selfish, and then there's selfishly, choosing you and not thinking about the betterment of the common good. So trines always indicate a harmonious aspect. I think it's going to open up a doorway of opportunity to reconcile any emotional energies that we kind of need to deal with, both mentally and emotionally. And it's a lot of communicative energies coming forward. So you might experience some direct conflicts, especially when it comes to emotional intensity today, and the battle between the head and the heart. But it's like opening up this channel between our conscious and our unconscious mind, and integrating the two personalities and figuring out who we are authentically. So it might be feeling like you're being pulled in all kinds of different directions, like you don't know which way to go, and you feel like you're running in circles, because I feel the energy is really amplifying all of these psychological conflicts internally and all of the stress that it causes in our life, especially when it comes to our negative reactions to all of these negative experiences. So it's like time to evaluate your emotions and your feelings. And your feelings and your emotions are your biggest intuition. So if you can't identify properly with your emotions or your feelings, then you're going to have a hard time differentiating between fear and intuition. So relatively, we're kind of all being asked to open up our heart and open up our mind to this new expanded consciousness, to embracing these new energies by contributing our energy to the pathway of self-development. So the moon energy wants to resist. The moon energy oftentimes is linked to the south node pattern, the comfort zone. And so when we resist, the universe has to come in with these very harsh lessons in order for us to see the positive value in the difficulties, right? It's about this emergence into this new energy. So heightened sensitivity, but this is where we acquire these insights and additional knowledge to our mission and our purpose, and this interconnectedness of everything when it comes to the Akashic information and these new ways of being. So the energy coming in is going to provide you with a moment of clarity, I feel, when it comes to laying a new foundation and stepping into ongoing creative expression. So get ready to face some uncomfortable energies, some emotional anxieties, especially if you've kept something hidden from somebody below the surface. You are encouraged to share that truth. If you want to break free from these negative experiences and learn the lesson deliberately. So a lot of illumination of issues coming up, and we're not alone. We're all feeling this at different levels based on where we're at. We're all in different timelines. We're all in different stages on the awakening journey, but we're all going to feel these energies, whether it's collective or personal. So I think get ready to go deep into some emotional evaluation, and the people that you're connected with, the situations that you've been playing into, these circumstances that keep showing up time and time again, and to take that impersonal viewpoint in the energies is kind of what I'm feeling. So let's jump in with some cards, guys, and see what else needs to come through with the energies today. Spend some time alone. I do feel there's going to be some challenges ahead, and you might want to go into quiet introspection if you face some challenging energies today, to figure out, the root cause of this spiritual test. What are your beliefs? What is it that you stand for? Because with the Taurus North Node, it's all about what do you value? What do you stand for? And it doesn't have to be like everybody else. So this is a moment in time where we're really being asked to surrender the lower ego as a collective. And that full moon in Scorpio is really going to get us to purge a lot of darker aspects. So kind of just flow. The divine is kind of in control at this point in time as we all round out this major karmic cycle, learning these very intense emotional lessons. And we all agreed to experience karma with another this life in order to resolve some past life experiences, some past life difficulties. We all agreed as light workers to work through these painful lessons as an opportunity for growth. Pain truly is the birthing point of creation. So I think get ready to purge and cleanse a lot of elements. This is like D-Day. Whatever you've been putting off is going to come out of your life very quickly. Whatever cannot remain, if you have been called to action for your mission, is going to be quickly purged out of your life. People, places, and things, including these behaviors, because we are all being asked to stand up and impart this wisdom that we've gained this lifetime. So get ready to break the chains. What is that song? When I break the chains. I'm not sure. If somebody knows what I'm talking about, put it in the comments for me, please. I'm trying to think who sings it. Kind of like a modern rock song, I guess. I get a lot of messages through music. So liberation, unconditional love, giving and receiving. And that's why we go through these relationship cycles, to understand the law of reciprocity, to make sure that we are compensated for what we put out there. And there always needs to be that healthy equal exchange as part of this human evolution. So in the past, we've been in all of these narcissistic empath relationships, one-sided relationships, catalytic relationships, where it's been one-sided, and we're evolving beyond that. We're breaking these chains of these running, chasing bonds, these toxic trauma bonds, and we're healing that inner child wound once and for all. So get ready for a catalytic event or person to redirect you. And a lot of these karmics don't realize they're teaching us a lesson, but they're put on our path to mirror back to us all of these unresolved issues. And it's a very challenging relationship that is necessary to kind of redirect you into your purpose. So liberation from all of these karmic soul contracts. These restrictions and these impediments are lifted. I keep hearing blocks lifted, blocks lifted. So release any fear. Fear is also a block when it comes to choosing freedom. Practicing unconditional love is always, always an inside job. The more love you show to yourself, the more you promote calling in your soul tribe, your healthy, soulful relationships, and that is when you can manifest true love in your life. So criticism, don't worry about what other people say about you. As long as you know you're coming from a place of integrity, I think you're really ready to step into evolution, and that might require detaching yourself from an outcome. Allow the higher power to, work its magic and release that Four of Pentacles grip on anything that is needing to be released. Let's jump in with the Illumination Oracle messages. Yeah, so you're getting clarity. we're getting back on track. We're on the right track. We're manifesting loyal, committed partnerships. We're bringing all of these secrets to light. And this block between this loyalty, I feel, is going to be melted away because that big change is coming. We've got that eclipse coming. And this is when we're all being asked to seize this new opportunity. Carpe diem. Okay, and you might need to seek some guidance, but we're kind of being asked to be those trailblazers right now, to be that lighthouse. So a lighthouse doesn't go out in the ocean and looking for all of these boats. A lighthouse stands on the shore and shines their light. So, depending on who sees the light and who needs the help, we attract people at the right time. So a lighthouse doesn't go out running after people to save people. We stand in the light of truth, and we know the right people will find us at the right time. So a lot of deep emotions broom below the surface, about to boil over in order for this growth and expansion, because we're manifesting these past life soulmate connections when it comes to clearing all of the karma and when it comes to stepping into these higher sacred unions. So I think there's somebody that's been waiting a very long time for somebody to be open and emotionally intimate and vulnerable. And I do feel blessings are coming. Your hopes and wishes are coming true. But you might need to find your determination to leave a very toxic situation behind. The light is coming. We are the way showers. We are the trailblazers. So there's going to be some big change when it comes to evolution, when it comes to breaking free from these karmic lessons and getting back on track, finding that determination. And it might require some compassion, some empathy. But I feel breaking free from confusion is a big message. So let's grab a couple tarot cards. Let's jump in with the tarot. What deck am I going to use today? I think I'm going to use the Tarot of the Divine, Queen of Coins. She's standing in her authentic truth. She's kind of bearing it all, right? Definitely. Self-nurturance. I also noticed the snake in the background. So you might need to be careful of some snakes in the grass that are maybe after, just your money. And we talked about materialism and greed and possessions. So it is about authenticity. It's not about the material aspects. So I feel this energy of, going deep into that core wound, that Nine of Wands, and, your past ancestral karma coming back, and look at all your ancestors coming forward with messages when it comes to closing out, a family cycle when it comes to your lineage. And that's going into that Chiron wound, and knowing that you're worthy of receiving everything that you've prayed for, unconditional love. So let's see what needs to come through. Ooh, we got an Emperor. Nine of Swords. So we do have a masculine that I think is afraid of being emotionally vulnerable. Maybe somebody that went towards somebody else and built a family elsewhere. But I feel this beautiful feminine energy that's risen above the rest. She looks very peaceful. It's almost like as this feminine rises into a state of peace and euphoria and grounded action forward, it's creating this mental disturbance in this masculine's life, the Emperor, divine masculine, Aries. Looking back at the past, I feel, when it comes to what could have led to a very abundant legacy, and perhaps thinking about maybe taking those steps forward to come out of hiding. I kind of feel this is a connection that's been on ice for quite some time. And I feel, it's maybe time to lay down a long-standing burden. I think this is a connection where your roots run deep. And it doesn't matter how much you try to cut this cord. You cannot release this connection. And maybe it's time to come in with that offer, Cancer energy. But I feel a connection that very well could have led to a legacy of some sort. There's definitely maybe somebody that has a white dog. I noticed the white dog on the card. So this Emperor is manifesting something, healing, wanting to heal some past mistakes, I'm feeling, with the Three of Swords in reversed. Eight of Swords in reverse, breaking free from an old mindset. This could be even healing a mother wound. This could be a crossed over loved one. and going into the family legacy and understanding your mission. You could even have a crossed over father on the other side. I kind of feel this is about healing family legacies and taking back our power, breaking free from these outdated belief patterns with the Eight of Swords in reversed is kind of what I'm feeling. Healing all past pain. Because if we do the 9 and the 3, we get the 6. And then we got the Lovers in reverse. Maybe healing from a past decision that went wrong. Somebody's definitely not emotionally available in a connection. Like the Lovers reversed is not on the same page. We've not been wanting to deal with this. We've not been wanting to look at this. With the Two of Swords, something's about to go up in flames is what I'm feeling. There's definitely the ending of a contract, and that's a big mess. So Page of Cups was the final outcome, an apology, but it also flipped out with the Nine of Coins, the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the World, and the Four of Coins. So definitely needing to release your grip on something. There's something needing to close out. Maybe there's the Queen of Cups here that is needing to go her own way. She's definitely not emotionally available. She's got that cup covered. She actually feels like she's not available. She's not available. Maybe she wants to be single. Maybe she doesn't want to give her love to anybody. Maybe it's time to give some love to yourself and to protect your energy. But I feel somebody's not wanted to see the truth that, hey, this just isn't working. We're not on the same page. The Lovers reverse, and maybe it's time to open up my heart in a new direction. Maybe there's a need to lay it all out on the table and, you know, bring an apology forward. And hey, sometimes we go into these relationships, not everything lasts forever, but doesn't mean it has to be a big blowout at the end. But there's been resistance to closing out this cycle with the Four of Wands. So there is a need for completion when it comes to a big life lesson. And going into all of these knots, these karmic knots, it is about paying back some karmic debt, undoing some past karma, and maybe stepping into independence. We're not manifesting these codependent relationships moving forward. We're manifesting interdependent relationships. So there's going to be a tower, and somebody here knows there's a tower coming. There's a high priestess here that knows. She knows that somebody's been lying, keeping secrets, and she knows shit is about to explode. If you see that dynamite, I'm thinking like, oh my god, what was that cartoonist kids where the road runner and whatever, and they would do the dynamite. So anyway, that come up in my head. Something's about to get blasted out of the water is what I'm feeling. Somebody knows there's a secret about to come out. Maybe a card reader, a healer, a psychic of some sort knows there's a tower coming. When it comes to a long overdue ending for a cycle. So I feel a masculine reevaluating his priorities, what it is that he stands for, what is it that I believe in when it comes to building a legacy for the future, a foundation, and what is it that I need to heal from? Because maybe I've had the blinders on when it comes to a connection that's not working anymore. Because I've not wanted to feel this ending, because maybe this ending is going to trigger a mother wound to the surface. But I feel this is the point where we shed the old to bring in the new. That's what the magician does. The magician is willing to shed the old to bring in the new. And it is about breaking free from an old mindset, an old belief pattern, to seize a new opportunity, to break free from something that's kept you stuck in order to open up the doorway for a new romantic opportunity. So the truth is, maybe this Queen of Cups has been holding on to a foundation that's about to get blown to smithereens. It doesn't have to be this Queen of Cups, but usually the Emperor is the one that takes charge. But I see two people that are kind of going their own way. A masculine, a divine masculine, and a Queen of Cups. And maybe this was a karmic lesson in emotional vulnerability, because there's been a lot of withholding of some truth, and there's been a lot of secrets and lies about to get exposed. And there's also a high priestess here that knows. So Pisces energy, we got the Tower, which is Mars energy. I always feel Scorpio with that. Gemini, Aries, water, and all of the fixed signs. So I feel like this rising from the ashes energy. I feel there's a masculine rising from the ashes and going through a period of healing, death, rebirth, transformation. And there's been a masculine deep within this hermit energy of self-reflection. Not really shown as cards, not really being emotionally vulnerable, and I feel getting ready to to come out from behind the curtain, because I feel it's kind of like graduation day is what I'm feeling. But let's look into this Emperor a little bit further and see what else needs to come through for this Emperor. Four of Wands, Nine of Cups, Knight of Cups. He wants a foundation. He wants ultimate contentment. He wants wish fulfillment. And I think he knows who he wants to offer his cup to. And perhaps it is this Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And I think he's hidden these emotions for quite some time. And maybe that's going to boil to the surface. The Queen of Wands is very magnetically attractive, passionate, fiery, visionary leader. And we did see the King of Wands earlier, a true pair. And this is like somebody's ultimate wish, ultimate contentment. And I feel somebody's wanting to come in and, you know, gathering their strength to come in and say, hey, I want to work on this now. With the Eight of Coins and the Page of Coins. I want to heal this now. Maybe I made a poor decision in the past, and maybe my walls were up, maybe my barriers were up, and I wasn't able to be emotionally vulnerable, but man, did I learn a lesson. Did I learn a lesson with this Queen of Cups, man? She wasn't emotionally available to me, and I put it all on the table with her, and I learned a valuable lesson. And I want to come in now and say, hey, I've never forgotten about you. I've secretly been holding on to, you know, you being my wish fulfillment. And can we maybe start over? I think get ready to receive an apology that will lead to a spiritual union. So let's look at this Lovers reverse, Three of Swords reverse, Two of Swords, Page of Swords, Two of Cups, Two of Coins. Yeah, somebody's definitely been afraid of speaking that truth. Definitely dealing with a toxic trauma bond, perhaps even like clearing some karma when it comes to a Kundalini activation of some sort. I'm not sure why that's coming up, but definitely dealing with a snake, a false contract, and I put that right on that Queen of Cups. So definitely closing out a karmic cycle, a codependent trauma bond of some sort, releasing these addictions. And there's been this lack of making that decision, a lot of indecision when it comes to maybe speaking that truth, delivering that message. So there's going to be a message when it comes to an ending. Maybe somebody's recently gone through an ending and they've been going through a period of healing before coming in. But get ready to receive a message about a spiritual union. Somebody wants to work with you, and they also see you as very authentic, very much abundant, and I think they want to come in with a lot of truth. With a lot of truth, honesty, King of Swords. After going through a death, rebirth, transformation, because I kind of feel the time is now to move things forward. I think we've kind of sat long enough in this inner child healing and going into the depths of these wounds, of these family patterns, that now it's kind of time to move forward very, very quickly, because, you know, we've been at the crossroads, and I think it's just that final nail in the coffin when it comes to that, you know, that truth coming out. I think somebody's been drowning in a lot of mental discomfort, in a lot of dealing with a lot of combative energy, you know, playing into arguments, conflicts, battles, creating a sense of confusion when it comes to which direction they need to go in. And I kind of feel clarity is coming. And somebody is getting ready to pack up and go in a new direction right towards a missed opportunity, because they're graduating. They're graduating out of a karmic cycle, and they're learning a lesson. They've gone within and they've transformed their life, and they're ready for this healing journey. So that's kind of what I see coming in here, and big, big blessings. This is what you hoped for. These are your dreams coming true, and somebody's been waiting for this intimacy to come forward. So let's get a couple last messages from Spirit and see what else Spirit has to say. Yeah, a deep level of purification, breaking away from toxic people, situations, jobs, anything not serving our highest good, and stepping into accountability and responsibility. Without a doubt, somebody's spiritual path is being illuminated, doorway wide open, and emotional vulnerability is what is going to be needed, and that truly is your biggest strength. So a refocusing, a realignment in order to reach your goals, and that's kind of what I got, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin soul reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.